Hi everyone, I'm Nettie K. Welcome back to my studio and to our new series on how to become a real artist. I'm very excited about sharing with you the secrets that I have figured out over the years, whether it be in art school or in studying and in practicing. And anyway, I just wanted to let you know, on top of everything else, I just turned 60 this week. I know some of you are going, oh no way, I thought she was only 25. No, I'm actually 60 years old. Isn't that crazy? And so it got me sort of thinking, not that I'm ready to leave the planet, but, you know, at some point, 30 years from now, I want to make sure that I have some paintings that are worth leaving behind for people, and not just painting a bunch of garbage that everybody goes, oh my gosh, they're not quite good enough to hang on the wall, but not quite bad enough to toss out. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. So let's figure out together what makes a great painting or a great drawing that's worth keeping or hanging in a museum. Yeah. Or even just in your kid's house. Yeah. So how do we do that? Well, the first thing I need for you to do is I need for you to go and find a piece of paper and a pencil. That's how we start. And every time we sit down, it would be a good idea if you had a little notebook that you could make notes in, or a little sketchbook that you could sketch in. So go off and find a piece of paper and come right back. You can press the pause button, and I'll give you your first little assignment on a little bit on information on how our brains work and how we can get them to work a little bit better. Yeah, so come right back. Pencil, paper. Okay. Okay, you got your pencil and your paper. Are you ready? All right. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to draw quickly. I want you to do a scene of a tree, a house, and a little bit of a scene with maybe one person in it. Don't spend a lot of time, maybe 1 minute to 1.5 minutes. And you can pause the video if you like and then come right back. And I'm going to show you exactly, as much as I can, what you just drew. Okay? So do it and come right back. Okay, we're back, and I'm now going to show you what 90 to 95% of you just drew. Yes, how did I know that? Oh, it's kind of magic. No, this is the universal symbol for what I just told you to draw. Now, what does that mean? Well, each one of us, up until about the age of 10, creates a vast array of simple symbols that we can actually draw when we're playing a game of Pictionary. But beyond that, we all seem to have the ability to draw these particular things. Now, if I told you to draw a face, some of you might draw a circle with 2 dots and a smile, and that would be one symbol of a face. And then as we get a little bit older, when we're little, some of the girls in about the 3rd grade will add eyes with eyelashes. Those are also symbols. It's not exactly the same. I'm going to show you one little drawing that a 6-year-old or 7-year-old did of me, okay? So she sees my face this way, and she really looked at my face to get all of these things. The symbol of my glasses, actually, it was she looked at my glasses and tried to figure out what color they were and got them. So this is not really all that symbolic. This is an actual rendering that a little girl did of my face. But she put a symbol in the corner. What's that? It's a sunshine. Yeah. Somehow, most children up to the age of 9 will always put a little sunshine on their picture, which just about drives me bananas. I'll have them doing some marvelous piece of art, and then all of a sudden they got to put a silly sunshine in the corner. Well, that is a symbol, and so I try to say, hey guys, that's teacher's pet peeve. Let's not be doing that. You know, you can do that at home, but not right here. Okay. Anyway, I divert. So how do we get beyond our symbolic brain of simple lined little, images that we would put on a cave wall to something a little bit more realistic? Let's see how that might be done. All right. Well, the key to creating something realistic is observation, okay? It means that you are really honestly looking and putting aside your symbolic brain for now and really looking at something and saying, what in the world am I looking at? As though you had seen it for the first time and you didn't have any clue about what the symbol might look like. So I just went out into the yard, everybody, and I picked a few little botanicals. Now, if you live in the city in New York or someplace and you don't have any plants, you need to go downstairs to the florist and see if they have just a few twigs here and there that you might be able to borrow, or pick up a flower and just really make it an observation. Look at it hard, everybody. So here's my little pickings for today. I grabbed, let's see, well, I actually cut an aspen tree. You say, is it a branch of an aspen tree? No, it's an aspen tree. I live at about 5,300 feet elevation in the mountains, and these things pop up all the time. And so they pop up in the wrong place in the middle of your garden, and if you leave them, they turn into a full, 25-foot aspen tree. So they're really beautiful. I just think they're so pretty, unless they get too big and then they take over your garden. Okay, so this is a really good one. What does it look like? Well, let's see. It has a very, very skinny little stem that goes up because it grows really fast. And then on top of that, it has these big, beautiful leaves that pick up the sun and just soak it all in. And it has, you can make an observation as to where these leaves come out at what intervals, and that just is one thing that you could look at right there. And here's a completely different thing that I found. This is off of a plant that grows along the ground. It's a ground cover plant. But then at this time of year, it shoots up these wonderful, lacy little things that kind of look like they sprawl out like an umbrella right there. You can see that. Wonderful thing to observe. And we might think about doing a little sketch of that. And so I just look and I see how different everything is. Once you begin doing these kinds of observations, your eyes begin to open, especially if you sketch them. And your eyes begin to open, and everything you see, it's just like you've seen it for the first time. That's what I found when I was 18 years old and studying art. I was just shocked that I had never really even seen a rock or a tree. It felt like I had never seen a rock or a tree. Now, I have one really, really big botanical that I'd like to show you. This is going to be super fun. I still have in my backyard, and believe it or not, we can grow these up here. A big, gigantic rhubarb leaf. Isn't this impressive? Now, when I look at these, I can find how cells grow. I can look at them because they're so big, and how these veins grow in the leaves. Really, really interesting. So I could sit and look at this and then just kind of focus on how the veins grow and sketch that. I can flip it over. And what do I have on the back but a completely different view of my leaf? And so I could sit down with my sketchbook and I really can see it. I don't have to have my magnifying glasses on, nothing. It's just this great big wonderful stalk, and how these different veins kind of pop off the side. Really, really neat. So, so get yourself a little botanical of some sort. It could be a weed, it could be some grass, it could be something like that. And sketch that by really, really, really looking at it. Okay, just really look at it. Okay, guys, I'm going to use this lacy little plant that I found out in the backyard, and we're going to I'm just going to give you an example of what I'm talking about. Now, I want you to get some paper, get some pencil, and find yourself a botanical. Go out there and bring it in, and then sit down and look at it. Shine a light on it if you have to. But make some observations. Now, this is what's going on in my head right now. I'll say, all right, there's a center stem that goes all the way down to the bottom. And so I'll just make a line, and I keep my eyes, I'm looking at it back and forth, and then I make a line that goes down like this. And then from this point, I know that there are these wonderful little things that kind of stem out like this. And they're like an upside down umbrella. And so it's probably how umbrellas were discovered, how they invented them. They had all these wonderful spikes that came out, And so here's some more that all come out from the center. Now, I'll back up the train a little bit. I'm going to come out here, and I see this one is going to be right about here. So I'll make a nice little thin line that's going to come down and connect up here. And then another one over here that's slightly taller. And it will come down like this, and it connects up at the exact same spot. Now on many plants, they join up at a different spot in the stem. But in this case, it joins up at exactly the same part. So make sure you make that observation as well. So then I have a few. I'm not just going to generalize. I'm going to look and make sure that I know where each little thing is going and coming from. And we've got this initial thing. There's a tiny little leaf that comes off. So the more I look, the more I see. And then I have another little leaf coming off down here. It's just kind of a little funny. And then I have another one over here and another one over here. And then I'll begin by putting another group of stems that come up like this. Now that's not all that I see. No, I'm going to continue and look very, very carefully at the end of this plant. And I begin to see that there are fingers that come off of the stem at the top. And so there they are, all there. And if I look and look and look, I see these little stems like this, or little tiny fingers at the end of each one of these. But that's not all. No, one more thing. At the end of each one of those fingers is a tiny blossom. I didn't even know that. When I glanced across my garden, I had no idea that that's what this plant looked like. And so at the end of each one of these fingers are little tiny blossoms that come off like that. And so just by observing, I've never looked at this plant up close before. I see that I have this particular botanical design, of which now I can go back in, and I have this maybe in my little sketchbook at some point, and I can come back in and use that design in another painting. I might have it in the middle of a landscape. I'll just pop one of these little things right up in the front of the painting and make this part of the grass or the foliage in the front of a landscape painting. So it doesn't go to waste. It's all part of your training of your brain as you begin to see things as they really, really are. So go ahead and do that exercise. I want to hear from each and every one of you. Tell me what you drew. Tell me how your experience is going. And we'll get back, and the next time we meet, I'm going to teach you another new exercise called gesture drawing. Gesture drawing is a very loose rendering, and it's like aerobics for your art little brain. Yes, okay. So thanks so much for watching, you guys, and don't forget to share with your friends and tell them all about our show and our little adventure. Maybe you'd like to sit and watch together. That'd be fun. Okay, I'll see you again next time. It won't be very long, and we will get on with our next lesson. Bye-bye for now.